Hello everybody, and welcome to this sermon on Monday of the third week of Lent. It is produced and presented by myself, Father Tom Casey of the SMA Media Centre in Dola. God works in strange ways. Just when you think that he should do this or that, we see that he does something different altogether. Why is that so? Look at the gospel today. The people were amazed that this was their child from their village who is preaching with such beauty and with great wisdom. Yet they are wondering, how could it be? We will that we be healthy and holy and safe and happy and peaceful, and that there would be no enemies in our lives, no health problems, no accidents, no bad people, no loss in our games even. Our teams always win, and so forth. This is our will. This is the perfect world. And we all want that. Let's admit it. But if we are truly Christian, we would accept God's will rather than wanting our will. So our prayer often is that God would do our will, as against our prayer being, which is the best prayer, to accept what God's will is for us and pray for the energy and the graces to do his will. This, in a way, is a secret. We would make a total mess of the world if we were God. Some people would say the world is a total mess anyway. Well, I say yes and no. It's a terrible place for a lot of people, like for instance in Syria this present time. But we don't hear much about the great things that happen. The conversions, the forgiveness, the great sacrifices being made by some people. You can read about it on the internet, but you have to look hard for it. Google it, and you will find many traces of how God's will is working. He works from within, and rarely these days do we see a Red Sea crossing experience. Although even in Thumani, there are many stories of great human achievements. Terrible situations bring out great things in people. These examples are there if we open our eyes to see them, open our hearts, and look for them, expect them. And that is the key. Are we open to the greatness of God? Do we expect God to show his might? But if we are closed, we shall see nothing. But what we find hard to believe is when God dies for us on a cross, or a Nelson Mandela going to jail for over 25 years, or a child being sick, the problems that are experienced in anyone and everyone's lives. But that is why Jesus cried out, "Not my will, but thine be done," to his Father in heaven. There is no great consolation there, you might say. What good is that? When I see suffering and am suffering myself, what good is it? Jesus, who is God, promises to be with us. I will be with you all days until the end of time. How? Well, you will be surprised when I say that he is the God of surprises. Let's go back to the readings today. He does the things that we don't expect. We may be suffering from a sense that all things will be solved by myself, a human being. I am making myself as good as God. Maybe I feel And I quote, "Well, who else is going to do anything? I'm a lonely man here. My wife has died. I am alone in the world. So I must get up and get out and do things, and I must achieve what I can by myself." End of quote. This is like being God, the sin of our first parents, which is still a temptation for us today. Yes, physically we have to do a lot of the work or dealing with problems, but the good news is that we are never alone. We are never alone, I repeat. Becoming aware of that and testing that spirituality is your personal way of experiencing this. What we are learning is that we should be open to the God of surprises. And He is around the corner, just about to reveal Himself to us. In your ability to face your adversary, to do the kind thing, there is God right there behind you, before you, and always protecting you. We say, and I quote, that God loves a trier. Forget the past. Just burst through the negative emotions and do the right thing. Talk friendly and forgivingly with your enemies. And you will be surprised, amazed, even overcome at how marvelous God really is. It's His will that we obey His commandments. My prayer always is, Lord, help me to know, to love and to serve you. Lord, help me to overcome the evil and difficulties that I may experience today by doing good and by putting my trust and confidence in you, Lord, and in you alone. Help me to do your will. Look at Naaman today in the first reading, 2 Kings chapter 5, expecting things to happen his way. In the end, he does the simple, uncomplicated thing of washing in the waters 7 times, and he is cured of leprosy. Again, a surprise of God. It's always according to God's will. What is required is to have a relationship with God. Regard Him as your friend and companion. Talk to Him. And as St. Patrick's very profound prayer says, which sums up all that I am trying to say today, and I quote St. Patrick's breastplate as it's known. Christ, shield me today against wounding. Christ with me, Christ before me, Christ behind me, Christ in me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me. Christ on my right, Christ on my left, Christ when I lie down, Christ when I sit down, Christ in the heart of everyone who thinks of me, Christ in the mouth of everyone who speaks of me, Christ in the eye that sees me, Christ in the ear that hears me. I arise today through the mighty strength of the Lord of creation. End of quote. May you experience today this closeness that St. Patrick obviously did experience, and the sheer magnificence of our God, who will never let you down. All we have to do is to do His will with confidence and with love and with appreciation and with a willingness to give back what He has given to us. Thank you for listening. This is Father Tom Casey of the SMA Media Centre in Dola, signing off now and wishing you a happy and peaceful Lenten day.